Who's your favorite live-action Batman actor? Favorite Batman movie? Favorite animated series? Batman villain? Your favorite comic run? So many questions, so much Batman. 85 years of Batman, in fact. One thing's for sure, Batman ain't going nowhere. Could you say Batman forever? May get better. The Caped Crusader has brought us years of entertainment and inspiration as the lone hero standing against a tsunami of crime in a depraved Gotham City. On his 85th anniversary, join me as I'm going to talk about 8.5 reasons why we all love the Batman.
Holy clickbait listicle video, Batman!
Well, Robin, not this one. This one is the real deal. To the Batcave.
Vengeance.
Reason we love Batman, numero uno, is because he carries out justice. We've all felt that we're not getting justice at some point in our lives, or that the world is wrong, or people have wronged us, with people getting away, especially in Gotham, with literal murder. And we've all fantasized about at least avenging our own injustices. Well, Batman's just a projection of that. Somebody who doesn't really need to step in and do it, but he chooses to. Police officers, in Gotham at least, can be bought off, can be corrupted. But not Batman. He's truly committed to the crime-fighting cause. And he has so much money, he can't be bought off anyway. He just wants to see good triumph over evil. I wish there was more like him, especially in the real world. Number 2.
Who's your tailor?
The theatricality of Batman. He literally dresses like a bat. He's full of pizzazz, he's full of eccentricities, his gadgets, his costume, everything is just cool. He's a character that is almost supernatural, especially for someone who has no powers. He just slinks in the night, takes care of business, and looks so cool doing it. Number 3.
Go to me.
As much as this video is all about Batman, you could argue that for many, it's all about the villains. So many Batman fans are not so much fans of the Batman as much as they are fans of Batman's rogue gallery, particularly the Joker, except for if you're in the cinema right now. But from the Joker to the Riddler and to the Penguin, it often seems the real attraction in Gotham are the villains. Even a whole TV series like Gotham was all about everyone but Bruce Wayne, and Batman doesn't even make an appearance. Right now on TV, it's all about HBO's Penguin. And spoiler alert, you guessed it, no Batman or even Bruce Wayne appears in a single episode. No Bruce, no Bat. So it's arguable that he's one of the few heroes in comics whose villains often outshine him. And I'm saying that as a huge fan of the Bat. Number 4, we've grown up with him. Every generation has had one iteration of the Batman stand out for them in their lifetime. From the comic strips from the late 30s and early 40s, if you're a little kid somewhere in the 60s, there's a very colourful and campy TV show that you were probably glued to. Rest in peace, Adam West. Fast forwarding to 89's Michael Keaton, all the way up to present-day emo Battinson and the Arkham Asylum video games. Oh, and Lego Batman. The character is truly cross-generational and exists across multiple mediums. Going back an impressive 85 years, he's someone we've always known and always seen in popular culture. And we've certainly been in a relationship with Batman at some point in our life or other. Some of us, we just never broke up. Number 5, the movies. Some people are Batman fans of every iteration. Specifically, for the hardcore, the source material, which is the comics. They can tell you from the very first print all the way to the current issue out now. But so many Batman fans, the vast majority of people, I'd say, are normies. What's a normie? Essentially, a normie is a regular person that do not have an encyclopedic knowledge of all Batman, every comic issue, every video game, etc., etc. Think Penny rather than Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory. They don't go to comic book conventions. They don't have their limited special edition prints enshrined in cellophane. They just show up at the cinema with their popcorn or turn on the TV when an exciting new Batman project comes out. That's not a bad thing. That's neither good nor bad. You're not less of a fan because you don't know every single comic book detail. Or can tell me Bruce Wayne's great-great-great-grandmother's name. You're not less of a fan if you're only into the movies, or more of a fan if you know everything outside of the movie. But there are a lot more fans, I'd say. There are many more fans of the live-action material who've never, ever read or picked up a comic book. And that's okay. I'd say Batmania really exploded initially in the 1966 TV show, The Batman, which was a worldwide success, but really hit big in 1989 with the debut of the first big-budget live-action Batman movie. For many generations, Michael Keaton is Batman, and a highlight of the recent Flash movie, Flashpoint. Undoubtedly, the best thing in the Flash movie was seeing the legendary actor return. See what I did there? Such is the appeal of Batman that he crosses boundaries of every format. You got your bat slippers, you got your bat towel, you got your bat phone, you got your bat toys, everything with a bat on it pretty much sells out. Batman can be discovered in multiple different formats in multiple different ways. Such is the appeal of the character. Number 6. The interest in psychology and duality. It's not a coincidence that a lot of the, especially in the more modern comics and iterations, characters in the Batman franchise have flirted with the issue of mental insanity and, let's just say, not having the strongest of mental health. You look at the mass appeal of the Joker, for example. When your number one fan is someone like Harley Quinn, you know you're not the best example around. And the Arkham Asylum video games. The idea that people have repressed impulses that they let loose and be who they want to be without any fear of conformity or notions of normal appeals to some folk. The Joker is the ultimate non-conformer. But then, in some ways, so is Batman. The main difference, though, is the Joker quite proudly parades himself without anonymity, where Batman frequently wears a mask. Multiple masks, even. One of them, actually, is the very public mask of Bruce Wayne. But that's a topic for a whole nother video. I think people are attracted to the idea of the exploration of, I believe, the ego and the mask, the repressed and the expressed. I said old Dr. Freud there. What it is to fully express yourself with abandon. But there is a dark side to that. When you look at the tragic circumstances of the Aurora shooting in America back in 2012, when someone dressed in tactical clothing entered a movie theater and opened fire, causing multiple fatalities around the time of the release of The Dark Knight Rises. Many in the legacy media started to blame Batman and the franchise for the unfortunate events. Then, with the release of 2019's Joker, the reports of those labeled incels rallying around the character as a poster child and an icon for them cemented that point of view. This issue of mental illness is further explored in 2022's The Batman, taking the bold step to further establish an explicit link with ill mental health with Bruce Wayne. Spoiler alert, by presenting that Bruce Wayne's mother, Martha, at one point was committed to Arkham Asylum herself. In fact, that the asylum was created by Martha's family, the Arkhams, which was taken by a specific run of the comics, but is not in the mainstream Batman lore. Then Joker director Todd Phillips doubled, tripled, drupled down on the idea of ill mental health, with his take on a version of the classic character in a more grounded reality version that had more in common with Robert De Niro's Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver than either Jack Nicholson or Heath Ledger's cinematic Joker. Number 7.
Get those wonderful toys.
Batman toys are great. They just look great, they play great. The colourful villains, the brooding cool hero, that silhouette, the vehicles, the accessories, they're all great. They just look especially cool on your mantelpiece, epically cool in the sandbox, rivaled only, in my humble opinion, by Spider-Man merch. But that's the other guys down the street. So the toys are fantastic. We've all played with them. And some of us never stopped. Joking, not joking. Speaking of toys,
It's the car, right? Chicks love the car.
this is not necessarily one of my favorite points on the list, but it is to many. I sometimes moonlight in a certain exhibition, in a certain infamous city, an infamous cave, that so many people come in and they're in awe when they see the gadgets and the costumes and the vehicles. From the Batarang to the Batpod, the Tumbler to the Beast, the movie vehicles and the accessories are the comic book superhero equivalent of James Bond and the James Bond movie franchise, with all of his gadgets and Q who supplied them. I guess in this universe and franchise, that'll be Lucius Fox. The funny thing is, the comics didn't really emphasize the use of gadgets, nowhere near as much as the old TV show and the movies. I'd say they were massively emphasized from 1989 in Tim Burton's Batman movie. The movies have constantly upped the ante in the arsenal that Bruce Wayne uses for his never-ending fight against crime, often with the latest Batmobile being the first preview of the next iteration of the Batman movie franchise, perhaps only rivaling the first sneak peek at the latest Batman costume with the new actor inside. Then the internet explodes, arguing that this Batman sucks, until of course he inevitably doesn't. Number 9. I know I said 8.5 reasons, but I can do this all day. I know, different franchise. Dude has 0 powers. I repeat, no powers. Batman is not technically a superhero because yes, he is a hero, but he ain't got no super. And yet he displayed incredible bravery, tremendous feats of heroism, and the ability, like James Bond, to get out of any dangerous situation on the page and on the screen. He compensates for this lack of power by having all of the Justice League and other superpowered characters in DC's comics weaknesses on a secret file. Just in case any of them step out of line and he ever had to take them out one by one, he'd know exactly how to do it. That's savage. Let's not forget how he almost took out Superman on screen in their long-awaited cinematic team-up in Zack Snyder's Batman vs. Superman. Say what you want about that movie, but we'd long desired to see Metropolis's bright-coloured apple pie hero fight against the ruthless, take-no-prisoners vigilante, and, in my opinion, Batman almost came up on top. As well, their mums share the same first name. That's all I'm saying. And the bonus reason why I think that we love Batman, similar to the point I made up top about justice and his relentless fight, is that Batman is an overcomer. One of the ultimate overcomers in all of fiction. This is a guy who as a young boy had his parents unalived in front of him and made a commitment to fight the evil criminals of Gotham that no other little boy or anybody would feel the way that he did on that cold, lonely night. A guy that is as jacked and ripped as he is, who's committed to the crime-fighting cause like he is, can be on our side, because like opening the door to Arnold Schwarzenegger's T-800 Terminator, I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of Batman. He's a peek at the detective brain of a Sherlock Holmes and an amazing fare for the theatrical. He's somebody that we could actually Kinda. If we were multi-millionaire, scratch that, billionaire industrialists aspire to be. We can't all be bit by a radioactive spider. We can't be a lost son or daughter of the planet Krypton. We can't run at supersonic speed, and we certainly can't breathe underwater. Not for long periods of time anyway. But we could discipline ourselves mentally and physically, like he did, to fight against the evils of this world. And even if you don't have the money, the resources that Bruce Wayne has, that's no excuse. In fact, there is a recent comic book run where Bruce Wayne, in an Elseworld alternate universe, still had his parents tragically unalived. But this time out, he was not a millionaire, didn't have access to millions and all those resources and toys. And yet he still becomes the Batman. I know, which shows that it's not his resources that make him Batman, but his sheer mental determination and personal discipline that really is his superpower. Oh, and I'm sure the money helps.
I'm rich.
Rich Bruce Wayne may be, but I don't know a lot of rich industrialists going around dressed like that, fighting criminals. Do you? How cool would that be? I know, I said 8.5 reasons. So I wiggled it a bit to make the title sound better. But you're surely not complaining, right? I gave you 2 or 1.5 extra reasons to love the Batman. You're welcome. There are my thoughts on why I think we love the Batman. Next time, keep Batmaning forever. I think I'll stop. Bye.